In this January edition of Pure Michigan Trains, we will see Michigan railroading in both sides of the winter weather, from morning frost to knee-deep snow. We feature a day in Holland, watching the trains of CSX's westernmost Michigan hub. We will also chase two Q335s from Clarksville in the east to Holland in the west. All that and more in this edition, presented by Thornapple River Rail Series. To start 2015, we find ourselves in Hudsonville on CSX's Grand Rapids subdivision, where early morning finds Q327 heading west toward Chicago. Following Q327 westward is a CSX track inspector. This morning, these two canvass Grandville to the east end of Hudsonville, ensuring that the track has no issues that need to be addressed. Once the inspectors were off the track, the RN dispatcher let D700 loose at Grandville. We see them at the east end of the siding with a lengthy Waverly Yard set out in tow. Just after noon on the same day, we see Q326 rolling east toward Wyoming Yard at Ivanrest, passing a tied-down eastern coal train. A week later, we returned to Grandville to watch D700 head east over Wilson toward Wyoming Yard. An hour behind D700 is Q326, showing signs of battling heavy lake-effect snow squalls on her trip from Chicago. Two days later, we found ourselves with almost another foot of snow. With school closed, we head to Comstock Park to watch Marquette Rail battle the snow in their mission to service Michigan Rail. With the north-south line prone to drifting, it is no rare feat for the locomotives to be covered in snow. A few days later, on the 11th, Amtrak assigned their Phase 3 Heritage 822 to the Pier Marquette. We see them rolling through Jenison at daybreak, just underway from Grand Rapids. Later that morning, we catch Grand Elk Train 303 as it heads south for Kalamazoo, fresh out of Hugart Yard. We wrap up our Sunday morning atop a snowbank in Grandville as an S335 gets underway for clearing yard in Chicago. The snow is still there on the 14th, as we see road switcher D707 tackle the hill at Fox behind a Soul SD40-3. Following D707 was Q335, where we see them at the west end of Fox at East Paris as the train curves downhill toward Grand Rapids. On January 19th, with the day off, we head to Holland to catch a variety of trains around CSX's Waverly Yard. The day begins with Amtrak 371 arriving at the nicely refurbished depot. Across the street, another winter snowpile gives us this view of the train departing for points west. Across town at Waverly, we meet westbound road switcher D700 as they approach the yard. Their entire train will be set out here before they grab 2 cars for customers farther down the line. We see him about an hour later back at the depot as they depart the yard en route to Coloma. With D700 out of the way, local Y121 heads down the Hamilton branch. We watch them swing away from the main line down the branch, across the field which will soon be home to a new natural gas electric power station. Today's train features 2 bulkhead flats for lumbermen's and a tank for Sherman-Williams. Later that afternoon, D700 returns with the 2 cars they traded in Coloma and once again head for Waverly Yard. With D700 clear, D803 got their light to head west. They are heading for the siding at Wells, where eventually a new crew will arrive to take this train to Chicago using the E950 symbol. With the weak winter sun fading, we see D700 making their run to Grand Rapids in Zeeland. The crews swap trains with Y121 in Holland, leading to the different power we see here. This pickup is the counterpart to the morning set-out, bringing all the Holland traffic back to Wyoming Yard for classification. We see them one last time in Grandville as they go over to the North Main on approach to Wyoming Yard. We wrap up January with a pair of CSX Q335s, chasing them on alternate weekends from Clarksville to Grand Rapids, and then Grand Rapids to Holland. We find ourselves at the feed elevator in Clarksville with a Q335 moving along at posted speed. Today's train is a short one by 335 standards, as confirmed by the defect detector.
Detector, milepost 126.3, no defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle 480, link 6000, detector out.
We catch them again near Seymour with the train gliding downhill. A final look is afforded at Plaster Creek as the veteran 8095 leads the way to Wyoming Yard. A week later, we find ourselves again at Wyoming Yard, preparing to chase the western leg of a Q335. We arrive at the west end to watch as the conductor uses hand signals to expertly guide his engineer onto their train. After doubling and getting a good air test, we see them from above at 28th Street with the power pulling hard for Chicago. We are ahead of them for Hudsonville, in time to watch them swing around the curve. Finally, we return to the snow pile in Holland as Q335 interrupts post-game traffic at Hope College. We got lucky, and following behind 335 from Holland was empty coal train E949. While we didn't beat the manifest to the Saugatuck Hill, we do catch the coal train in time to watch it snake down the grade. Thanks for watching this edition of Pure Michigan Trains. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and return next month for the February issue presented by the Thornapple River Rail Series.